Hi, this is Joseph Williams, son of John Williams, and you are watching the Nerf Herder Council.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. I am your host, JT. We are live on YouTube and Facebook, and we are live at those two locations every other Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. And if you would like to get some customizable Nerf Herder Council swag, go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com. And a little birdie told me, a little birdie whose name may or may not be AJ, that our old designs are back. So you can get multiple Star Wars designs right there on that NHC shopping page. So if you want like the Solo logo, the standard Star Wars logo, the other, I think what we have, like 3 or 4. AJ will tell us when he's here in a minute. But I think we've got 4 different designs you can choose from, and they are all back up and yours for the choosing. So let me bring in AJ and Steve here. What is up, guys? How are we doing?
Hey, everybody.
So obviously tonight's main event is we are going to be doing a live watch-along kind of commentary to the Phantom Menace, so it's going to be a long show. Again, as I said on Facebook, if you guys are bored, you got nothing to do tonight, like, I don't know, avoiding getting a DUI, going out on the busiest bar night of the year, grab some beers, some beverages, some food, whatever the hell you want to do, and sit back and watch the Phantom Menace with us. Jump in the chat, and let's do this. Before we get to that, though.
Sorry, it just made me think about that one time that I was single for a while, and I went out the night before Thanksgiving, and I racked up a $200 some odd bar tab, and I ordered no food whatsoever. And it was from your old joint. It was from the Fox and Hound up there. You remember that joint, right?
I do.
Like well over $200. I didn't even order like a side of French fries. It was all beer and shots, and I had no clue how I got home. Zero idea.
All right, so before we get into our show announcement, I hate to cut you off, Steve, but we are here for a reason. So we got some news, first. So first of all, we gotta say hello to my buddy Kale. What's up, Kale? He is in Australia and he is sick, he says. So this is perfect for him to sit there and kind of relax and watch some stuff. So hello to Kale, our excellent buddy, Rural Farm Boy. What's up, man? Good to see you again. And Joseph Wren. Joseph Wren says, AJ, your green screen looks like an office. This is the behind the scenes episode. That is actually AJ's actual recording area, and it's
a true peek behind the curtain because there's no
curtain. It actually, you've got the Super Star Destroyer back there, and if people can't see what it is above that, it is a full display of Lego minifigures, framed Lego minifigs. So that is a very impressive collection there. Some very valuable items. So, it's actually pretty much equivalent to a green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
our buddy
you can't see mine. Mine are there you go. Move the mic.
I would move mine, but mine is the pod racing arena in Mos Espa. So it's kind of a
it's hard to move.
It would just be more panoramic. But our buddy Craig from Canada. What is up? And okay, so Joseph Wren says Steve is already drunk.
Oh yeah.
So there you go.
On all my water, I'm drunk on water.
So there you go. Real quick, we'll answer a quick question here from Kale, and then we'll get to our show announcement. And then let's get rocking with the movie. So AJ, Kale wants to know: is that a Lego Executor? And have we determined if it's Executor or Executor? We've never quite.
I've heard it both ways, so I have no idea.
Okay.
It's whatever you want it to be, I guess. It's your own headcanon.
All right, there we go.
But yes, it is the Lego Ultimate Collector's Series Super Star Destroyer. It was embarrassingly expensive, but it was a gift, so I didn't pay it.
So technically, it wasn't expensive at all.
There is no better
I paid
Lego.
For it. Don't you get me wrong. I definitely paid for it, but
there's no better Lego than free Lego. So
yeah. Our buddy Craig says, "Happy Thanksgiving, guys." Yeah, we would be remiss if we did not wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, even if you're watching on the video replay or the checking out the audio replays. Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you guys have an excellent holiday. Let's real quick before we get into the Phantom Menace, let's give our show update. This, kind of like an update as to what we're doing and where the show is going. So we're going to be taking the next few episodes off. We will be back in early. I haven't done the dates, but I think we're going to take like the next 2 off, maybe even 3. But we're kind of rebranding the show, and Star Wars will always be our focus when there's Star Wars to talk about. But we kind of realized it was getting kind of stale. We were having a hard time coming up with topics, and so we're just going to be a nerd podcast. We're going to talk about whatever nerdy shit we feel like talking about. And I have to give AJ and Steve credit. You guys, you had mentioned this probably 2, even 3 years ago. And I was the one like, no, we are a Star Wars podcast, damn you. And, at this point, there just isn't quite enough Star Wars to keep it going unless you're really digging in and nitpicking.
Right.
And I don't think anybody really wants to hear some of that stuff because other podcasts do that and they do it much better than we would. So we're just going to talk about nerd shit. Obviously, whenever there's Star Wars to talk about, that's going to be our main focus because that's our favorite, part of nerd culture. But, going forward, we're going to try and revamp the audio and like the visual a little bit if we can. We're terrible at that except for AJ. And, we just want to freshen the show up. It's been 6 years. We started, our first episode was a reaction to the Force Awakens.
God, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
We started off, December of 15?
Uh-huh.
December of 15, yeah.
We came up with we used episode 7 as the jumping point to
holy crap
start talking about stuff.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and AJ and I came up with the concept at Celebration that year in Anaheim, and we'll be in Anaheim again in May. So it's been quite a while. So basically, we're going to keep doing Star Wars whenever possible. It's obviously our favorite thing, but we're just going to be a nerd podcast. We want to keep things fresh for ourselves because, I know AJ and Steve especially have, there have been many times they want to be like, there's this thing I want to talk about, but it's not Star Wars. So, we can't talk about that.
Right.
Well, now we can.
We break fourth wall a lot and peel the curtain back and other sayings like that. We've literally been shooting each other in our heads for the past 6 months, easy.
Yeah,
trying to come up with ideas, and it's just like, dude, it's not worth it. There's so much more crap we can talk about, and we always try to leave it in one lane, and it's just not worth it anymore.
Totally agree, man. Joseph Friend, here's to your next drunk idea. Yeah, that'll probably happen tonight because I think all of us are drinking.
I can actually field that one for a second because we have discussed, Steve and I in particular, in addition to the other show changes we're thinking of, is we're going to try to get a semi-regular Friday stream going. Steve and I in particular, JT when he can hop on when his band schedule allows, but that's going to be our place, probably more on Twitch than Facebook. Because Facebook likes to put the ban hammer on things that are too much fun. Yeah. So we're going to try to spin up our Twitch presence a little bit and do some weirder stuff over there. Maybe some game streaming or board game playing or something like, something related to the show, but not like mainstream to the show. Yep. So we'll still shoot the shit about Star Wars and do all that sort of stuff, but it'll be like different offshoots or facets. Because I know there's the other problem with trying to come up with topics is we're trying to come up with something that all three of us can talk about. And we've all got our different like interests. So we realize that maybe we just don't have to have everybody on every show if all three of us aren't into the thing. So what this really means is that I lost the battle, guys. The war has been fought bravely. JT came out on top. He's not going to watch the holiday special with us.
And we'll get to Phantom Menace here in a second. But I as much as I don't mind being honest about things, I don't want to ever be a part of something where I know I'm just going to shit on something relentlessly. So, and I mean, that's just negativity for the sake of being negative. And I think, the world has enough of that right now. So I am willingly removing myself from that situation. So,
there's a reason why I drank as much as I did to watch What the hell was that?
Did you just break something live?
So JT, you know that beautiful photo mosaic that your wife put together for me of all like the pictures of us over the years?
Oh, dear God. Yeah.
It was up on the wall with command strips. Since I moved in here over 2 years ago, it just gave way.
Nice.
So one of us is going to die during this podcast. Okay, great. Sweet.
Well,
tune
I'm
into some
drinking
live
water,
death, y'all.
So, yeah.
All
Hey,
right.
we're going to get numbers.
Wow. So Cam McLeish says,
It also
I've got
took out
6
the
years.
Lego Razor Crest on the way down.
Remember, one of the things that we also said this, we're going to be honest about things. When one of us is speaking, you don't talk over them. Thank you. Cam McLeish says, I've got 6 years of back catalog to catch up on. And our buddy Craig from Canada says, wonderful idea, guys. So there you go. Now, AJ, would you like to speak, or should we, get to the opening credits? Yeah, go ahead. You just broke me, dude. You did that on purpose. That's a show moment.
No, the stupid fucking photo mosaic did that. That was not me.
I hope it didn't break, because that's,
No,
look.
it's in one piece.
No, nice.
All right, good.
That's good.
But the Razor Crest has seen slightly better days.
Ugh.
Pretty durable,
So
though.
you-
Pretty durable overall. The only thing it did was take off that one engine.
Oh, that's not so bad. I was going to say it's realistic to the show now.
Dude, that still hurts. Don't joke.
I
Don't
was
kid about
just
that.
gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. All right, so let's get into the main thing tonight. So we're gonna watch the Phantom Menace. So I have mine downloaded on the Amazon Prime app, so that hopefully I can avoid any lag issues. So I don't think that'll
Same.
be a problem.
I logged
AJ,
into
do you
some
have it queued up?
guys- I logged into some guy's Amazon and downloaded it too. So
Wonder who that guy was. He's a good friend.
right.
A good friend.
And a cunning
Excellent
warrior.
Episode. Yes, I was. Thank you. I was waiting for someone to pick up the. There we go. All right, so I have got mine up on Amazon Prime. Are you guys ready to go?
I am hovering over the play button right now.
All right. So for any of you guys who are watching live, or if you're going to watch this on the video replay, we are about to start. So I'm at 0 seconds. Steve is at 0 seconds. AJ is at 0 seconds. So whatever platform you're watching on, we are ready to roll. So on the count of 3, we are going to hit play, and we are going to bask in the glory that is Darth Maul, Jar Jar Binks, and pod racing. And I'm actually not joking. I actually love those 3 things, especially pod racing and Jar Jar Binks. And we're going to get going. So on the count of 3, y'all, let's watch. Here we go. Kale wants to know real quick, are we loading into the Fox logo or the long time ago? Now, for us, Kale, mine goes into the Lucasfilm.
Really? Mine
goes to
downloaded
the
off
Fox
Amazon.
logo.
Mine does 20th Century
Let's see.
Fox.
I'm on
Oh yeah,
Disney
20th.
Plus.
Sorry, 20th Century Fox. Okay, yeah, 20th Century Fox, Kale. So there we go. Okay, good call. Okay, all right. Is everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. As Roar Fanboy said, punch it. 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Oh, here we go again. You talk about 6 years ago. If
Yes.
anybody in chat has hung around with us for a long time, we already talked about the fact that we started in late 2015. Well, my son
Late. There was 2 weeks left in the year.
yeah. My son was born in April
Best
of
movie intro ever.
2016. So
Yeah.
John and AJ said they were going to throw a diaper party. And we thought, hey, we're all gung-ho on this podcast thing. So let's get a bunch of people. We'll drink. We'll have fun. We'll watch the Phantom Menace, right? Good idea.
Yep.
And so as I'm trying to be a professional and record everything, and we did this, a week ahead of time, that we were setting up room
You
mics.
had booms.
Yeah,
we had booms and stuff. Yeah.
We had XLR cables everywhere. Like it was honestly as professional as we could get. But while we were waiting for everybody else to show up, the guy that was in charge of the audio was drinking heavily already, so I was gone. I was blitzed by the end of the scroll.
Well, to be fair though, Steve, we decided to do a power hour before starting the movie. So we were all 60 minutes deep on beer.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, and then one of you two set an alarm on your phone to go off, every 5 minutes that we were supposed to, like, do a shot every time.
No, it was every 60.
Every 60
that was
seconds.
me. Every 60 seconds. Yeah.
But, man. and again, we are as professional as we can get, as drunk as we can get. But we're we're maybe about this far into the movie, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And somebody in the room drops the double gut and and I'm not talking about the tiger from Winnie the Pooh.
Yes. Dude,
so
can we just say it was your brother? It was your brother. We put all this effort into this show. We put all this effort into this watch along. And we had been doing Power Hour, granted. I brought over that big Subway sandwich tray, so we're smashing
I remember
sandwiches,
the sandwich tray.
But we fought we fought a lot of battles that week to try and figure out all the audio and everything. We had people sitting across the room. We had like mic stands hanging, like we were all pumped up. We start doing this Power Hour. I had the app. Every 60 seconds we had to do a shot of beer, which sounds easy, but is not easy. I found I was like, oh my God, I am like, and I can drink, like, you know.
Yeah.
But holy shit, I felt bloated as hell.
Yep. And Sean shows up with 40 ounces of Steel Reserve, like we were filming a damn 1990s rap album or something. He comes down here with like 40 ounces for everybody.
Yes. And so we're like not even 5 minutes into the movie. And your brother, for some reason, he's all wasted. We still can't figure out why he drops a couple of N-bombs as we're recording. We're like, well, turn this off. And then it turned into how ripped can we get?
Well, no,
that's the problem when you put mics in a room is everyone tries to play like amateur hour at the Improv, right?
Yeah.
And it's like at the time, the way we were doing all our editing and stuff, I was just literally writing down the timestamps, and I was going back and doing it later. So I'm like, okay, I'll just write that down. I'll make it work. I'm a professional, right? And then like 2 minutes later, another one comes out of the gallery, and I just shut the recording down. I was just done. I don't think we got through this scene with Qui-Gon. Remember Qui-Gon?
Yes.
Qui-Gon.
One of our buddies kept calling him Qui-Gon. By the way, Jason Starkey says Steel Reserve is chewy shit.
It really is.
All right, so a serious comment. Kale McLeish says, can we just appreciate how well the TC-14 actress nailed the protocol droid movements? That is very true.
Yes. But yeah, I just, the only other thing I remember from that day was maybe about 15 minutes later, one of you two looked over at me because I was sitting on, the recording side of the table over there. And one of you was just kind of like, hey, is everything good? And I'm just like,
I haven't been recording for like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Drunk as all shit. And I'm just like, I shut it off 15 minutes ago.
That was me, and that's when I went.
Mike's like, "Hey, I got a joke."
Yeah,
we got room mics, and people are like,
"So you want to hear about it?"
Sit the fuck down. Why?
Right? Oh my lord!
Those good times.
Sorry to cut you off, but I'm actually going to talk about the movie for a second.
Yes, that's good. Okay.
Hear about that.
First off, I already screwed up my timestamp, so I think I'm at the wrong part. But how good do the droids look still? Like for being fully CG and being 22 years old at this point, oh my God. I wouldn't have known they weren't real.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, I don't have a problem with even like the Nimordians. Because, I mean, I think I always like kind of just took it as they're trying to mix like, live sets and live characters with, the CG. And I mean, it's been widely reported, which a lot of people ironically don't know, that in terms of like live sets, that the Phantom Menace had the most live stuff, and it's the one that
Yeah.
people bitched about the most for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's
Yeah,
just,
they
it's
really
amazing
went-
how much new stuff is right in the beginning of this movie, though. Like new Star Wars stuff. Like we see
Yeah.
a lightsaber getting used to carve through a door, and we've got these CG battle droids we've never seen before, and another protocol droid. Like all this stuff that's just like the same old stuff we remember, but like cooler and newer. And everyone still talks about how like this is such a weird, like different feeling movie. Like it's totally not. It's totally not.
Yeah. By the way, AJ, one of our favorite lines, that little stumble. Well, those droid
Dickers. They're no match for destroyers.
By the way, our buddy Kale makes a very good point. Kill them immediately. Dude, had they actually succeeded in this, you just lost Vader before you ever met him. It's a good point. That's a good point. That's why they didn't have him die.
Yeah, like it's just like the memes online. Kill them immediately, and then it happens.
Mom, can I go? No. Created by George Lucas.
Right.
So I saw something. We can actually save it for a later scene because I'm subscribed to Star Wars Explained on YouTube, and he's been putting up those little shorts lately where they're like basically YouTube's answer to TikToks. There's a little bit about C-3PO coming up when he shows up on screen that I'll relay. God.
Queen Amidala herself.
Did they calm down real quick when Amidala popped up on the screen?
So I actually don't know where I'm at in the movie compared to you guys. So
8 minutes 20 seconds.
All right, so I'm going to speak along with my audio right now, so you guys tell me how far ahead I am. Don't do anything. We will understand it. It's too much. Okay, so she just cut off the transmission.
No, he just said you assume too much, and she.
Okay,
just
so
cut it
I'm
off
ahead of
right
you
now.
guys.
Yeah.
All right,
You're.
got it. Okay, we're back.
Say I just hit 850. So if you're right around there, that's good.
Yep. Yeah, my Bluetooth screwed up. I was stuck in the settings on iPad. Anyway, dude, okay, so it's not insightful to say how great does this movie look. So we'll just stop with that stuff. But
No, it's not that. I mean, you got to put it in the time frame. Like it was 1999. What the hell did you expect?
even the compositing looks good. I'm looking at this throne room scene.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, actually, wait a minute. No, this is a real location, isn't it?
I think so. They really went out of their way to use as much realistic stuff as they could with this one. I mean, everybody makes fun of the green screens, but they did so much puppet stuff and so many live sets for this.
Dude, that's the nice thing about this movie is, yeah, before episode 2, they were just using old school movie making techniques. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I wonder if like the crappy like royal accent that she puts on here is like a callback to Leia,
Oh, yeah.
because it's just awful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pew, pew,
Okay,
pew, pew.
so we're about to get to Jar Jar.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, one of the most controversial characters.
All right, so
Dude, this
Kale,
gotta be the most worthless looking speeder bike things I've ever seen in my life.
Kale, I'm at 10 minutes and 30 seconds, buddy.
I just hit 10:30 right now,
Okay.
so I'm a couple seconds behind, but it's all right.
Yeah.
All right. So I officially broke the seal first. I'm the official loser of the show.
I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nerf Herder Council lore, like that thing will just live in infamy.
I know. Man, I'm sorry. I still think, like AJ, to your point earlier about the droids, I still think this movie looks fine. And I think maybe it's because we've talked about this before. I think maybe not on the show, but it if you look at it through the prism of the fact that it's 1999, something like this had never been done before, then, I mean, how can you not be impressed by this?
Mm-hmm. Plus, I mean, it's got Qui-Gon. We didn't realize exactly how important Qui-Gon was to the overall storytelling. I mean,
Can we please just get a Qui-Gon movie?
Oh my God, right? Like, I know you're not into the High Republic stuff, but it basically just proves that Qui-Gon was like an anachronism. He was a holdover from a totally different era of Jedi.
Yep.
More than just that. Yeah.
Squeeze me.
Kale McLeish. Fun fact, the Garden Lake area is used in Casino Royale, the James Bond film. I did not know that. But then he says, let him get run over. Our buddy Joe, he says, Jar Jar suggested giving Palpatine control of the Senate. He's the true evil of the franchise. We're not there yet. We're at the beginning of episode 1, Joe. Quit jumping ahead like 2 full movies damn near.
It's funny. Every time Jar Jar talks, I just think about the old soundboard we used to use.
Oh, geez.
Oh, that was so good. That was so good.
I had like 12 Jar Jars on there. And yakety sax. That was always the go-to.
That was dude. We need to bring back yakety sax.
I mean, I still have the computer over there.
So you gotta love those little details where, like, he whips around and Obi-Wan has to duck his ear.
Yep.
I mean, did he really have to do the Olympic dive into the water there?
Like, I get it. Like, I mean, the things that people complain about with this movie, like, I totally get. Like, I would never say, okay, well, you're wrong. Like, that was awesome. But by the same token, it's like, again, I mean, in 99, I was a 23-year-old kid. I was not, like when I was younger, I wasn't like a 7-year-old kid. Like, it's so this was not written for me. I understand that part when people say that. Like, I understand that. So, Kale McLeish, he says, I love the shot of Odo Gunga. Yeah, I mean, the graphics in this there's so many underrated parts of this movie, and I think this is one of them. I agree with him. And, by the way, Bubba's here, and Bubba just almost completely tore my entire broadcast on by spilling my beverage and my backup beverage.
What up, Bubba?
but we both said it because I mentioned it while you were breaking the seal, John. That it's like you gotta think about the fact that it's 1999. Like, how many movies were making really good CGI at the time? So.
But none of them weren't doing nice English. None of them were doing any of this. I mean, none of this was happening. Like, this was the first movie to do this.
All right.
So it's like, how you can complain about the first. I don't understand.
I don't know. It's tough with stuff like that because you got nostalgia on your side to some degree, but if you don't have nostalgia for it, like I bought Super Mario 3D All-Stars last year on Switch when it came out. I'd never played Mario 64, which is heralded as one of the greatest games ever because it was such a technical achievement to put Mario in 3D for the first time. The game is fucking terrible. I can't stand playing that thing. If I had an N64, then I would have the member berries for it, but I don't. Right. So I'm just looking at it going like, you know what? It just looks like a really crappy version of a newer game. It's got nothing for me. So if you're growing up with like 2021 standard CGI effects and you look at this, you're like,
Yeah, you're right. I mean, if you're growing up on Avengers and stuff, you're looking at this from 99 going, wow, that's trash. I mean, the same way we look at watch Rocky, the horrible sound effects every time a punch lands and stuff. Like, Dude, back in the day, people were loving that shit. We look back at it now, and you're like, God, that's bad.
Well, and that's the thing is like you have to kind of watch it in context because, I mean, again, in '99 when we saw this in theaters, this was kick ass. We were like, holy crap! Like, it took what was done in Return of the Jedi, and it was so much more expansive. And obviously now they can combine the CG with the real world type stuff, and it looks fantastic. But I mean, back then, this was revolutionary, and it really expanded on what we had seen.
I think the remastering actually kind of hurts these movies because I think the elements like married better before they were remastered because the film doesn't clean up as well as the digital effects do. So the enhanced resolution actually points out the CGI more than
yes. And I'm still. It's not a complaint because I mean that's just a natural thing. It's a natural byproduct of CGI and digital and all this other kind of stuff. But AJ, I completely agree with you. If you go back and watch just the standard DVD versions of these movies, it blends in so well. That teeny little bit of fuzz just makes it absolutely all tied together.
Like, I mean, video games do it too. I remember I played a completely remastered version of a God of War on the PS4 that I borrowed from somebody, and they redid the whole game, but they weren't able to redo the cutscenes. So you saw all this beautiful, crisp gameplay, but then it would go to a cutscene, and you would just see that ugly, like gritty, and it didn't look bad, but like when you compare it back to back like that you're just like, wow, that's pretty bad. And then it cuts back to the new remastered gameplay. You're just like, ooh, like it just looks horrible. And I think that's AJ's point. It's they cleaned it up so well that it made it look ugly in return.
Right.
I think we go back now.
Oh, see, this whole scene was just amazing with these giant friggin' creatures back there.
The original Death Star. Super tiny and then bigger, planet-sized.
Naive.
I like how people had no clue who that was.
Dude, it's crazy how many people really didn't know.
It couldn't be more telegraphed. I don't know how you don't figure that out.
Right.
It's like Clark Kent to Superman.
Yep.
Well, okay. So don't forget, for us it was obvious, but I mean, Ian McDiarmid did play it a little differently. So I mean, tone of voice wise and everything, like, so I don't think it was as obvious as you may,
right?
As you may, think it was, AJ.
Especially if you're just getting into it, you're like, I'm gonna watch all the movies 1 through 9 in order. You'd have no clue who the hell that was right now. So,
yeah.
Okay, true. If you've never seen a Star Wars movie, then yeah, you don't know who that is. I kind of wish I could see it in that order, actually, like fresh eyes. We've talked about that before. Like, I wonder what this story plays out like if you do just watch it in episode order with no backstory.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of impossible for us to do that at this point. Unless somebody smacks you in the head with a sledgehammer or something, you lose.
That's the thing. It's got to be so hard to write these stories in a way that like satisfy all the people that know all the previous stuff, but also acknowledge the people that are just coming into it for the first time. And you have to tell both types of stories without losing either audience.
Yeah.
Speaking of all that and going with our
oh, see, here we go. This is now a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
But it looks fantastic.
Yeah. But and going with the new theme of the show going forward, we were talking about doing this stuff on a Friday, once a month or whatever. Sean, who was part of the original Phantom Menace and did Cards Against Star Wars with us, he he just recently started playing Knights of the Old Republic on his Nintendo Switch.
Oh, cool.
And
I've been
now
meaning
he's
to get that.
now he's got a bug up his ass about Star Wars. And he went and watched episode 1 and episode 2, and he was bullshitting with me about both of them while we were playing Halo last night. And I was like, dude, I'm like, if we start doing these watch alongs like once a month, I'm like, you need to come over and watch that stuff with us now. So we might actually have a guest for our episode 2 watch party when we do it.
Nice.
Didn't he want to do this one?
He did, but we're watching it now, so it is what it is. But I know he watched 1 and 2, and I don't want to watch a brand new movie with him because I don't want him to miss dialogue and things while we're bullshitting. So I'm like, no, like, let's do the ones that you've seen already, and you can back it. Like, honestly, he said out of the 2, he likes episode 2 better than 1. And I was like, wow, you really haven't watched Star Wars before.
Hot take. Wow. Yeah.
But in his defense, he was like, hey, he's like, Anakin did slaughter all the Raiders, and then the Yoda fight scene at the end. And I was like, okay, if you're gonna base it off those 2 scenes, I can see where you're coming from. All right.
Right.
But he said this first one, he said other than the pod racing, he thought it was just boring as shit. And I was like, yeah, that's a hot take, man. It really is.
See, you know what though? Okay, so here's the thing.
So there's a view from somebody who
Shane
hasn't
Waffles,
seen Star
Return
Wars
of the King,
before.
your band.
So I told him, I'm like, your whole ideas are gonna change as soon as you watch episode 3, though. I'm like, once you watch episode 3, and then if you stay in order and watch Rogue One and Solo and stuff before jumping into the original trilogy, I'm like, your thought process is going to change drastically about episode 2.
Yep.
By the way, it makes more sense in context knowing that they've done the whole switcheroo between Padme and come on, who's her lookalike?
Not Corday's in episode 2, but
Yeah, but
I don't remember.
yeah, so they did the switcheroo because before you know that, what it looks like is she's watching the droid army invade her city in her red dress, and then she's like, "Oh shit, I got to change clothes." Because the next scene she's walking down the stairs in this black getup. Like,
there we go.
Wait a minute.
All right.
Your planet's being taken over, and your first instinct is wardrobe change.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wardrobe change. Yep.
Kale McLeish, thank you. He's at Sabe. There we go.
Yep.
Nice.
All right.
We would have lost that in trivia.
Dude, especially if you think about the year that this movie came out in 99, you just automatically assume that Padme took every one of their ships and went to Exhibit's garage and had them all chromed out. Like, how much
Pimp my
fucking
starfighter.
chrome do you need on your damn your ships, dude? Like, Padme was like, I want enough chrome on my ship that when the sunlight bounces off of it, I want a planet to think a giant laser is getting shot at it.
That's where the Death Star came from. That was Senator Palpatine's like, I could work with that.
All right, so I have to ask you guys. Nice. All right, so I have to ask you guys. When this came out in 99, to me, it felt absolutely enormous. Like, it was just like everything was bigger. Everything was, I mean, did it feel like that way to you guys? Because I've seen some people online saying that this one felt like compact and not really.
It's hard for me to answer that because I didn't see it in theaters. I saw the 3D re-release, but I mean, watching it the first time, like going from the original trilogy, I see what you're saying. It seems like everything was the worlds and being out in space. Like everything seemed bigger than what the original movies did. Which I mean, it should because of CGI and all that stuff.
Yeah. I just remember like the complaints when this first came out about how glittery everything looked, but it's like Obi-Wan kind of teased it in episode 4 when he was like, a more civilized weapon, a more elegant weapon for a more civilized age. And so you kind of, that line kind of teased the fact that things looked nicer. It was you know what I mean, like, so that it didn't really throw me for a loop.
AJ, one gripe about the Bad Batch, for example, it's that it's already leaning into it's like one day the war ends and day 2 it's like everything's old and crappy already.
Yep. Because everything definitely looked nicer here than the original trilogy.
And I like that point. People had time and money to keep their shit nice. So that was cool. But I actually expected in the prequel trilogy, I've said this before, I expected to see like new X-Wings, new Y-Wings. Like X-Wings are supposed to be old tech, and that's why the Rebellion is using them in 4, 5, and 6. I expect to see brand shiny new ones around at least episode 2 or 3. But yeah, I feel like that was a lost opportunity. They could have tied the prequels more into the OT with more visual references, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad point, AJ.
Like people still roll around in 50-year-old cars and they're, vintage and classic. So why the hell a 50-year-old starship wouldn't happen?
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a missed opportunity. That they should have had really nice X-Wings in one of these movies and be like, "Oh, hey, that's why they look like crap in the original trilogy."
Right. Okay, so I think this scene is one of the ones that even I
like to think that the
Phantom
Jedi
Menace
are sitting here in this scene, though, and they're thinking, like, we're complimenting a toaster.
This is the one thing that I have to say is, like, kissing R2-D2's ass, okay, I get that part of it. But then it's the, hey, Queen, go clean this thing up.
Yeah.
I was always waiting for the deleted scene where everyone leaves the room and Padme turns around and goes, "Bitch, you're so fired."
Right.
By the way, we brought your favorite Eopie and it's just shit in the hallway. Go take care of that too.
Yeah. See, Kale just said it. So the decoy just ordered the Queen to clean a droid.
Yeah, she was definitely taking her liberties that day.
By the way, AJ, so Kale asked an earlier question. I'd like to make sure that I have this right. Phasma's armor was made out of an Imperial shuttle, correct? Like the stuff
from it was one of Palpatine's private shuttles.
Yeah. Okay, the private shuttle. Okay, I didn't say that much, but okay.
That's why it was all shiny chrome, because he apparently that was like the one thing he kept from Naboo was he loved the bling.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool to think like scraps of one of these kind of ships ended up being like Phasma's armor. I kind of like that through line.
Right.
I just love how they parked this in the middle of the desert. Like the sun glare off of that damn paint job has got to be insane, bro. Like when Maul comes in the speeder, he should have just like slammed into the side of it because of sun glare.
Mm-hmm. It's like traffic on like a spring morning.
The thing is basically a giant Jiffy Pop out there.
Padme's under there.
Over the sand dune, he's all doing the speed wobbles and shit. just tumbles over on a rock.
Padme's down there on like a lawn chair with like the cucumbers on her eyes, just sunning herself like literally under the thing. He just bangs in when she goes, "What the hell?"
She peels one back. It kind of looks like the hell. Yeah.
All right, so
she's just got she's got an aluminum panel off the bottom of it holding it. Like they do that little trifold thing.
All right. So our buddy Joseph Friend says this movie did feel rushed back in the day, but you didn't care watching in the theater. It was new Star Wars. It wasn't Ewoks or droids. Even when it feels forced, you expect it to go somewhere. All right. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, Joseph Friend, like, what was your opinion though, after you saw it though? Like saying like once you got over the whole it's new Star Wars, what was your opinion on that? Because, I mean, obviously it's, we all know this movie got shit on relentlessly. And I loved it back then. I love it now. I definitely see the flaws, but I also, as we talked about, and here's one of the great new Star Wars characters, guys, we've talked about the fact that how is there any way, I don't care if it was Rogue One or, Revenge of the Sith, like when you only had episodes 4, 5, and 6 to judge things up against, I think any movie they put out at this point would have been crapped on just because there was no way it was going to live up to that trilogy. Like, what do you guys think about that?
Dude, AJ said it a few minutes ago. There was no way you were ever going to please everybody when this came out. So,
right.
Well, and you said it on previous shows too, JT, where you don't want to. You want enough callbacks so it feels like it's the same universe, but you don't want everything to just look like 4, 5, and 6, like it's just a time capsule where nothing ever changes. So I like the fact that it starts off with some stuff that's familiar, but also some stuff that's totally not familiar. And you see as it gets closer and closer to the original trilogy, the more it starts echoing that visual language.
I see Anakin. He's gonna have to go fetch the wet floor sign.
So this is.
Even at 8 years old, my man Vader was out here trying to pull tail, bro.
Damn you, Steve.
3PO, go get the wet floor sign. This girl's got it bad.
Don't you love that he's like, yep, been a pilot all my life. Yeah, I know.
Hey, girl, you ever seen pod racing? Dude, that's why Vader's the best character, man. It starts here, man.
You are such a Vader honk.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my Lord. That was a good one, Steve. Good for you.
Sorry, something I noticed like way back when they first started walking through the town, with the whole like Jar Jar steps in poop scene.
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you look at the beginning of the shot, R2-D2 actually rolls around a pile of shit.
Right?
Really?
It's this little like thing I caught just on this viewing. So yeah,
just
apparently
like
Jar
I
Jar
kind of
is
forgot about the
droid.
fact that I forgot about the fact when they walked into Watto's shop, you hear the ding dong of like the little bell, and I was like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot they did that.
So, Joseph Wren, our buddy, Discuss Metal Joe, he says, Star Wars can be any of this. That's my answer. Knowing how episode 3 was going to end didn't matter. This movie was just fun. So, yeah, episode 1, yeah. Episode 1 is a fun movie. I mean, it's and to me, that's the thing I think that a lot of people miss. I think everyone got so down into the weeds of comparing it to the original trilogy and, looking for all the, like, just nitpicking the shit out of it that they forgot that, you're supposed to watch Star Wars to have fun. And this movie,
it's the same damn thing we're telling people about the sequel trilogy. Like, it's we just lived it 2 separate times. We lived it in 99 through 05, and then we lived it all again 10 years later.
Yep. Cam McLeish. Hey, Watto, I might have wrecked the floor again. Can we get some fresh sand in here?
Right?
Yeah, no, but I mean, seriously.
3PO just comes in and starts kicking sand over the spot on the floor.
Like a cat, he does it backwards.
Right.
Anyway, before we get too gross, yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things that's lost about, about these movies, like, the prequels, is that, like, they really are fun. Like, people complain about, like, the political aspects of them, and
which is my complaint,
like,
but
Yeah, see, but I actually liked it. It was like, I've said many times,
I never thought it was bad. I just kind of thought it was too much in episode 2. Like, that's my biggest hang up about it. But at the same point, if that's the worst complaint, is it really that bad?
There's my boy Sebulba. Now we're partying.
Hey, AJ, remember how we partied with the guy in the background? Right there, the guy with the yellow stripes on his face? Quinlan Voss.
I love that.
I forgot he was in this scene. I only remembered him from the cartoons.
The actor's name is Doug Wepner, and there he is in the back left again. And he just went off camera. Anyway, his name is Doug Wepner, and a buddy of mine befriended him, and we were hanging out with him in Orlando, and that's the only time I almost got in a fight at Celebration. Because we were sitting there bullshitting with him. Oh yeah, that's Steve. You know the fight story. Like, so this guy, like we're down there hanging out, and it was after hours. So of course in the hotel lobby, everyone's got like coolers full of beer, and
right.
The bar's closed, so no one cares. So we're tying one on, and we're sitting there bullshitting with this guy Doug Wepner, who's Quinlan Voss, and we're just asking him questions about his acting career, this, that, and the other. And this guy comes up and starts like grilling him about, this, that, and the other. And, apparently Doug had been through like a rough patch in his life or something. And this guy starts asking him about some stuff. And he was like, yeah, I don't really feel comfortable answering this. And I was like, yeah, dude, like, and the guy kept pushing it. And I was like, dude, like, yeah, he's, we're just kind of sitting here trying to have a good time. Like, this guy's just, he doesn't want to really answer. And the guy turned on me. He's like, just gave me shit. And what did he say, AJ? Something like, I said something like,
started with, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
That was aces right there.
Yeah. And I was like, but dude, he doesn't.
Like, no, this man owes us an explanation.
Yeah. You were in these movies. Thank you. You were in these movies. You owe us an explanation. And I was like, no, he doesn't.
About his friggin' marriage and his personal life. Yeah.
Way too far.
Yep.
Like the people that think that like this is life and stuff is like, no, moron. You paid $9 to get a ticket and go see it in the theaters. It's not that fucking serious.
Well, this
guy, private lives are none of your business.
Yeah, right.
Well, and then we were all drunk, and of course we'll get back to the movie just a quick second, guy, because I got to finish this because of this awesome line that I pulled. But I will forever be proud of this one, AJ. The guy basically turned on me. I said, dude, he doesn't have to answer to you, like, just because he's in a movie. And he turned on me, like, and then he got on me, and he was like, man, I was in the military. I killed people on 3 continents. What are you gonna do? And I said, I'm about to kill a person on this continent.
Yep.
And AJ dragged me away, and then hotel security, like, is there a problem here? And AJ's like, nope, we're going upstairs, and threw me into the elevator, like, But yeah, this guy was an ass. But yeah, we hung out with Quinlan Voss, so I guess,
You should have just stood up and tried to throw, like, old school fisticuffs with him and, like...
Well, we had a giant cooler. It was still full of ice and a couple beers, so,
Okay, so I'm going to cut in with my C-3PO nugget here.
All right, please do.
So, JT, you've got the, was it J.W. Rinsler Making of Star Wars book, right? That's
yes.
one of your favorites, isn't it? Okay, so have you read through the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a bit in there where George Lucas was giving an interview, and he was giving the interview as the characters in the film. Like, he actually sat down with some outlet, and like he was speaking as C-3PO as part of the interview. And even back then, this interview was 1977, and he gave this hyper detailed backstory of like where C-3PO had been, and said he was 112 years old when he was first assembled, and there was all this backstory about how they go and they download their memory core to the Republic database every so often when they can get back to Alderaan, actually was the planet named. All this other stuff. But what the other part that George Lucas dropped as C-3PO was that about 37 years ago, he was reassembled by a boy. who worked at a junk dealer.
I don't remember that.
So yeah, this whole thing, like the fact that it was Anakin as a kid wasn't obviously like written then, but everything else about C-3PO's origin was already there in 77.
I know for a fact. I know for a fact, having that book, that there is a ton of like prequel stuff in that draft. That I do not remember. Although, if anybody's ever like rewatching this, like if you've ever read that book, it is absolutely enormous. I mean, like it goes.
That actually looks really good on screen, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing the past like 7 or 8 minutes trying to fix this thing. So.
I think mine would be broken. So we have a question from Kale McLeish. He says, "This storm's coming, woman. I've heard theories that she's the one who hears the Rey Skywalker line at the end of episode 9. Thoughts?" I
love the idea. I have no idea if it's true, but
I don't know.
How old would it make that woman at that point?
But that's what I was wondering.
Like that, like if it's
this is
an
episode
actual
1?
human, that would be hundreds, like years old at that point, right? Well, not hundreds, but 100 maybe. But
close.
Okay, so the actress at the end of episode 9 was Anne Furbank, which we'll just save the jokes because that's too obvious. But
why'd you have to do that?
Yeah, I'm drinking.
Now I got to find out who played the character in episode 1.
God damn it, AJ. Oh. Man, as you're looking that up, AJ, I gotta say, like, something about this scene I've always loved the whole family table thing, like, and like we know who Anakin is going to become, but like I've one of my most favorite aspects of this movie has always been seeing like how good Anakin actually was. I mean, he's just like such a good kid. He's like such a good dude. Like,
and he just gets broken by like the world around him. It's like real life.
Yeah,
it's just like he kept trying and trying, and then his mom gets killed and stuff, and he's just like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, Kale nails it. Our buddy Kale McLeish, he says he's so pure. I mean, that's exactly what it is. You know, like.
Hey, look,
damn
it's
it,
my
Joe.
ex.
Look at Joe. You know he's gonna fall into a volcano too. Shut up, Joe. Yeah, like he is that pure. I mean, and that is my favorite. Literally, my favorite aspect of the prequels is how they don't just be like you don't see him as a snotty little kid. Mm-hmm. Then he's a even bigger jerk when he learns the Force in episode 2, or when he's been mostly trained, and then in episode 3 he's like, well, now I'm a huge piece of shit. Like I love the human aspect of the Vader character, and I think that is so overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, even his first act as Vader in the suit is worrying about Padme. Like he still had that purity to him. And
awesome point.
Palpatine's like, oh yeah, she's dead. You killed her. And like, that was the thing that just drove him off the deep end for the rest of eternity. It was, oh, well, I did this, the one thing. Like, that was the one thing he couldn't do was kill her. And, well, I did. Well, at least he thought he did. So,
yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, the actresses are not the same between episode 1 and 9. And it's not confirmed that she is any character that we would know. But yeah, the two theories are that it's the same one. Jira would be the character's name, which says "Storm's coming, Annie," played by Margaret Towner. And then, the character is not named, just as Tatooine Elder in Rise of Skywalker, and that is played by actress Annie Fairbank. So, yeah, not the same. The other theory about the Tatooine Elder is that she might be Kami Marstrap, a Tatooine native who appears in a deleted scene from A New Hope and whom Luke Skywalker dreams of being married to in the novelization of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. So,
all right, well, I can see that.
That's a hell of an Easter egg for Last Jedi to say that they tied back to a deleted scene from A New Hope.
That would not surprise me.
Yeah.
That would not surprise me.
She's like, no, that's not what I was thinking, but yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. Like I watch scenes like this, like down in Tatooine and stuff like that, and this just has so many elements of the original trilogy. Again, I think there's so many things that are overlooked in these movies. Especially I mean, episode 2 we'll get into when we do that one, but I mean, like, episode 3 obviously everybody likes. But this is like, I think they're the CG was great for back then, but because it's been kind of crapped on since then, I think people focus on that. I don't think you have the bad dialogue in this movie that you have in episode 2. But I think this one has so many elements of like the original Star Wars that gets so overlooked. Just because
and it's got the Kitster.
It's so wizard.
Right?
Look, man, I'm trying to keep it serious here.
We're bringing it back.
That kid's a crappy actor.
Yeah.
Why does nobody bring up that goofy redhead that can't act his way out of a wet paper bag?
Anakin was just like, go get back in the shade, Ginger, before you get
right. Friggin' Daywalker, what's wrong with you?
All right, so here's so Kale McLeish says, here's the thing. I don't think there's so much bad dialogue in episode 2. It's just all about that one stupid ass line. Well, Kale, we will get into that when we do our episode 2 watch along, but I love all Star Wars movies, but I'm going to tell you, I think you are very wrong in that. I think there's a lot of badly written lines in that movie. Even though I love it.
Right. And dude, we're already at what, 2 or 3 times that R2 has saved somebody's ass already, and we're 49 minutes into the entire saga. R2 really was the GOAT, man.
Dude, we're gonna have to, all of us individually are gonna have to go through and watch all of the Star Wars movies with R2 in them and write down all of the times where R2 saved the day. He really is the most important Star Wars character. Like, if you really look at it, he, honest to God, like, saved the entire freaking franchise.
Dude, Mommy was big mad when that thing fired up. She was like, she was shit.
Oh, shit.
It's it that the one thing that she tried to like mess with is what R2 just fixed, and she's like,
yeah.
Goddamn droids.
Well, here's a great point by Kale. Oh, actually, let's get our buddy Joe. We forgot to address this. Watto is the man. Yes, Watto is the man. Dude, that is a great character. Very underrated. Kale McLeish says, again, most egregious thing about the sequels, massive lack of R2. Kale, do not get us started.
Yeah, right.
Actually, funny thing, our comeback episode at the beginning of 2022 is going to be titled The Pissing On of R2-D2.
Yeah, right.
All right, here we're on to midichlorians now.
Yep.
Right.
All right,
They
guys.
ever redeem midichlorians? I mean, they've
I was
mentioned
gonna
the
ask-
M count in the Mandalorian, so are they trying to bring it back?
Maybe.
I never.
I never had that big a problem with it.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, I don't understand like the big problem with them. The
Also,
one
like,
thing I will.
They're like, "Oh, this is so bad. This isn't what the Jedi should be doing. This isn't what the Jedi Order is all about." I'm like, that's the point. They kind of suck right now.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Like, if they seem off kilter, like they're doing the wrong stuff, yeah, they are.
Man. Yeah, I never had a problem with it. And I guess in hindsight, like if when you think about like, oh, we have to explain the midichlorian, we have to explain the Force, like yeah, I get where people don't want that. But I don't know. I really wonder how much original trilogy bias goes through all the criticism of these movies, because I mean, AJ, especially you and I offline have talked so many times about how, like, me especially, like I look at the prequels in a vacuum, and it's a fun trilogy of movies, which to me is exactly what the original trilogy was. It's a fun trilogy of movies, and I tried not to compare them to the original trilogy because I don't think there's any way to compare them, and I really wonder, like, how many people are really biased by the fact that the original trilogy is that great, and they just won't let that go and let themselves enjoy another, trilogy of movies.
Especially because, like, the original trilogy played it fast and loose. They didn't have the burden of an entire saga on their shoulders. So they just got to make stuff up and be weird with it, and that was fine. This is more of like a measured take where now we're actually trying to create like cohesive stories and tie one thing to another. And, if it's mentioned here, we have to respect it there, all this sort of stuff. I think it did a really good job of that, actually.
Yeah. I completely agree.
When did I move on the screen? Like I'm watching the movie and I just glanced down and I'm like, wait a minute.
There you go.
Something is wrong in the Force.
Yeah, look at JT messing with everything.
If I did that, I apologize. I'm scrolling between screens, so.
See, I am such a purist, though. I'm getting annoyed by my subtitles. They're not the same subtitles. Sometimes they're at the top of the frame. Sometimes they're at the bottom. They're definitely not in the same text. So
No, wait a minute. They were never at the top.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
The font, maybe, but
So what I'm saying, they removed like the baked-in subtitles for dynamically generated ones. So if you want this translated into like another language, they can give you your Japanese or your Spanish subtitles or whatever. So when Watto is speaking or Sebulba is speaking, you get like new not fake, but new subtitles instead of like the original subtitles.
right. Our buddy Joseph Wren, he says, one man's logic is another man's science. The Force doesn't belong to the Jedi, quote unquote. So who cares about midichlorians at a time when the Jedi were supposed to be at the height of their doucheness? Yeah, I mean, it's
Fair
not
point.
a bad point.
Man.
You're right though, JT. If you come at this is like a clean slate, this stuff is so weird. How could you not have fun with it?
Yeah.
You got the stupid
Like-
two-headed alien announcer guy.
I always wonder, like, what this movie would have been viewed as if 4, 5, and 6 had not existed. Like, would people? I don't think anyone would look at it like Episode 4. But I think
Right.
in terms of like a fun movie, like a fun space movie, like a cool story, I think it would have been way more accepted, and better received than it was at the time.
Mm-hmm. The one thing I would love to know from a behind the scenes perspective is of all the pod racers, they made them all digitally, right? Except for I think it was
That
Ben
one guy, the one,
Cardeneros.
the one dude before.
That guy
The
right
guy-
there.
the guy-
That guy on the screen right now. That guy with the
No,
long
there's two
snout
guys
and
before.
and the long fangs. That is a
Two
puppet.
guys before.
And why
Yeah.
the hell did they make a puppet of that guy? He's so inconsequential.
Wow. Did you ever notice that even though that was it was obvious that it was the Three Stooges with those little droids? Did you ever notice that little tool that goes yee? Like that was like the curling like anybody ever notice that? I've never always thought about that and no one ever notices that.
See, I love okay. Well, now of course we get the damn EOP fart, but when those flags come out and that music swells, like doesn't it get you stoked? I know, Steve,
Yeah.
you love to make fun of the pod racing scene, but like the setup
Thank you.
does make it seem like this is a big friggin' deal.
Well, not now, and that I'm glad we're into this scene. Steve, you rip on the pod racing like crazy. Like, why? What hair up your ass do you have? Because I got to admit, this is one of my favorite Star Wars scenes ever.
Dude,
I think the pod racing is kick ass. So I'm gonna go to battle with you on this one. Like, I do not understand why you have a problem with the pod racing.
I don't know. Like, I know when I saw it in theaters with the 3D, I swear to God, like this scene felt like it was an hour long. I don't know why.
But why is that bad? It's like action packed. It's like
I don't know.
it harkens
like,
back to so many great things that we saw. You know, like
the crazy
Falcon,
thing is,
like
I cannot like pinpoint a reason as to why I have a problem with it. It's just there. I don't know why, but it's just there.
oh, and here we go. I hate to like beat a dead horse, but can we just please ask the question? Why can they not get Jabba the Hutt right?
It's incredible.
I mean, it's the one thing, like, with all of the technology, they cannot get Jabba the Hutt right. I get it back in '99, but even since then, they try to clean it up, for the Blu-rays and stuff like that. Like, it is, oh my God, it is terrible. I mean, it's
never
not even
get the voice right.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even like some people complain about Tarkin in Rogue One, which I don't understand why. And if you complain about Tarkin in Rogue One, you're wrong. But I mean, if you want to complain about Leia in Rogue One, okay, like I get that. But at least it's pretty close. Like you're like, oh, yeah, it's pretty close. No
Like,
version of
it's
Jabba,
bad,
has
but it's close at the same time.
yeah. Cale McLeish. I mean, it's an obvious comment, but he says he only ever looked right in episode 6. Yeah, but he also only ever sounded right.
Uh-huh.
And you've got the original audio files. How can you not recreate that?
Yeah, I mean, how many times have they remixed Wookiee screams or R2D2 beeps?
Thank you.
Right?
Oh, you know what? So, Cale McLeish, AJ, this is a question for you. By the way, another stupid thing in this movie that I love, like spitting the frog head into
she is standing on top of one of the cliffs.
Yes. All right. So Cale McLeish says, has anyone ever actually seen Aura sing in this movie? I've never actually spotted her outside of still images. And AJ, your answer was?
I think one of the wide shots where the pods are all going around a bend and you're looking down from a cliffside, I think she's standing on the cliff.
Okay.
Now we got something to look out for.
Yeah.
Right. By the way, Steve, like I know we disagree on things on this show, but we never absolutely categorically say that each other is wrong on anything.
Right.
But I'm going to go on a limb right here, and for the first time in 6 years, say that categorically you are wrong. The pod racing scene kicks ass.
I mean, we've been to enough panels at Celebration about it, so we know way too much. But God, to make something like this with all the sounds and the music and the visuals, and I mean it needed to be amazing and mind blowing, and I think it still holds up.
I completely agree. Wasn't that
There
Aura
she is.
Singh right there?
There she is. Yep.
I was gonna say. Okay. Now, okay. So I'm the big 3D honk. So this is probably my thing. AJ, you saw episode 1 in 3D, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Steve,
Yep,
you saw
in the
it
theater.
yeah, because that was when you took Maddie.
Yep.
So I can't believe how disappointing that was.
Oh, because it wasn't 3D enough.
Dude, it was only certain things like they went.
I still remember the fact that I was like, the only impressive part of it was the scroll.
Yeah.
Like that looked great in 3D, and everything else was just a thing.
It was weird because like scenes like this would have been awesome, and yet it was like dialogue scenes like between like Maul and Palpatine that were like those looked amazing, but then shit like this is like what you really want. It was like flatter than a board. I'm like, what the crap?
My timestamp is 102:20 right now.
All right.
But yeah, like
all right, there you go, Kale.
I appreciate what they were trying to do, but I think the problem was you're trying to take a movie that was not intended for 3D and try to make it 3D, and it just wasn't going to work, and that's probably why they shit canned the rest of them too.
That's
right.
The two things. Is one, it was filmed. It was actually on film. It wasn't digital, so compositing it was hard. And two, like you said, it wasn't intended for 3D, so the shots weren't planned for 3D.
Yeah.
And then two and three were screened at Celebration, but again, being digital, it was much easier to redo those to really drive that 3D, depth of field. Yeah. They even said so at the panel. They were like, "Yeah, it's we dialed it up because we didn't do enough of it on the first one."
Yeah. Kale, I'm at 103.20 right now. Thanks for doing that, AJ, as well. AJ. Yeah, when we went to that panel, the episode 2 in 3D panel at Celebration, and we saw that stuff, like I was freaking out in my seat for that panel because they specifically, it did look explosive and big, like they did the speeder chase, and it was unbelievable. And then when we saw episode 3, which can we just flex a little bit on that one? We're still one of only a few hundred people maybe on the planet that's ever seen episode 3 in 3D. Mm-hmm. And that's my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. So that looked I thought it looked fantastic. I don't know about you, but
now the
I
3D
thought it looked great.
Conversions, those were a casualty of the Disney acquisition, weren't they?
I think so.
Because episode 1 was out in 2012, and that's when Disney bought them. So I think that was just already done by Lucasfilm, and then work was done to do the other releases. And I think Lucasfilm was probably like, you know what, we got episode 7 coming. We don't want to confuse people with 2 and 3.
Oh.
I love how he announces that Anakin's out of control. Like, hey, the little kid's gonna die, and everybody jumps out of their seats.
It's like the one head that's like foreign sounds like, he's all serious, and the other head's probably like, hey, the little kid's gonna die. Right. We got kid death out on the pod race.
Now, this is an extended pod race scene, isn't it? Wasn't there a shorter one in the original cut?
Maybe. That is a good question. I do not know.
I don't remember.
Because I don't remember him having like 2 mechanical problems. I thought it was just the the Sebulba and the cable thing, but maybe there's a third one or something. Because I remember,
the third one.
So I remember when
this
came out on
piece
DVD.
Completely falls off that Sebulba screwed with at the beginning.
I remember when this came out on DVD, there was a promo on Frosted Mini Wheats where you could save your UPCs and spend away for it. And that was one of the features on the DVD it was an extended pod race scene. And I was like, oh my God, there was like 7 extra minutes of pod race, which makes it like a 35-minute segment. It's crazy how long it is. But
What is it with you guys crapping in the pod racing, man? These scenes are fun as hell.
I'm trying not to right now. I mean,
no, it's just amazing that you take like a 20+ minute scene. You're like, you know what this needs? 7 more minutes.
It's not 20+ minutes.
I don't know. It's pretty damn long.
God
Which
damn
I'm
it,
not complaining about. I like it, but like it was long enough that it didn't really seem like they cut anything out of it. You know.
I'm throwing myself under the bus. Hold on, Steve. Hold on. I'm throwing myself under the bus. I broke the seal, and now I got to do it again. Damn it!
Now we can really shit on the pod race,
right?
Right.
I mean, I do gotta question one thing though. Anakin fucked up at the beginning, then he's tumbling around when everybody's cheering that he was about to die. Then he just flew up in the air. Like he constantly catches back up with no problem whatsoever, but then he can't pass anybody to save his fucking life. It
is weird.
Is he the fastest damn kid alive, or is he not? You know, like he should be a gazillion miles behind because of what happened at the start of the race. And if he's that fast, he shouldn't be nowhere near Sebulba right now. Like he should be light years ahead of him at this point.
Right, and he just overtook him. Now his engine's on fire, and he's going to slow down again. And then as soon as he gets that taken care of, he's like, boop, back again.
Yeah. Like, and I'm not even trying to shit on it. I'm just questioning how they came up with this logic. That's all.
It's got to be a pain in the ass because the other thing is like it's only 3 laps long, right? So this whole thing takes we're watching it in real time, so it's like less than a 20-minute race, and it gets all this hype and fanfare. It's like I was expecting more like a NASCAR kind of thing where this is like, 200 laps and no one ever survives. And so this whole thing, like, wow, okay, apparently it's just blink and you'll miss it.
It's like, again, he gets full power.
Yeah, he's like, now he's back again.
He catches up to him, no issues whatsoever.
Okay, if I had to guess, I think the explanation is they could all go faster, but they don't because they can't handle the speed. They can't react fast enough. So he's got to go like super force deep to like catch up because now he's like really channeling the force to anticipate stuff.
Maybe, I guess.
But you're right, it's not really clear at all.
Like even right there, it's almost like he was fucking with Sebulba. Mm-hmm. He could have easily just passed him, and he's just like, no, I'm gonna ride up next to him and gloat, and now he's stuck to him like a dummy.
Right. The scene that made me an instant Sebulba fan was when he's throws the wrench back and just blows the crap out of the dude. Then he's like, he's like choking on exhaust from fucking with somebody. He's just like coughing his way through and laughing his ass off. And then, we get this awesome curse.
You get the poodoo.
Yep. Okay, that's crappy child acting right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right. Like, none of these people knew Anakin 15 minutes ago, and they're all like, hey!
Yeah. It's like when an NFL player gets drafted, and all of a sudden they're like third cousin twice removed. It's like, I've always supported you. Can I have some money?
Yeah, right. Anakin's like, I knew you'd be back, girl.
Do you know how bad they almost smell?
All right.
Man, oh man. I love how he scrunched his face before she kissed him. like Jake Lloyd, it's like, God damn it, strange woman, stop it. It took me forever to catch that one of Maul's probe droids just goes like fluttering past in the background of the scene.
Really? I never paid attention to that.
it's super obviously telegraphed. It happens like right here when Qui-Gon turns around, I think. And it's, you're supposed to catch it, but yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Like, how did I miss that crap? I was just like, what the fuck?
It's because you're too busy enjoying the movie at some point, and there was no point in trying to dive that deep.
Obi-Wan is a fucking douche.
Hey, what the hell is that?
He's just making snotty comments. Like, he is hot shit, and he just looks down on everybody. He shits on Jar Jar immediately. He shits on Anakin. Like, I wonder if he ever tells that story when he's training. Like, hey, fun fact, kid. When I first heard that you were coming along, I called you a pathetic life form. Isn't that hilarious? By the way, their life ain't great, but for slaves, I think they got it pretty good here, don't they? Like, they've got their own stuff. He gets to build his own droid. He's got a project car in the back.
All right, so we got to call somebody out here. Our buddy Mark Thrasher says, "What's up, fellas? You guys at it again?" Mark, yes, we are. You should pull up
90 minutes ago. Yeah.
Yeah. You should pull up. We're actually doing a live watch along of the Phantom Menace. So pull up your Disney Plus, jump on at 1 hour and 13 minutes, almost exactly, and jump in with us. Oh, and Steve-O, your buddy Steven Sanchez says, "Hey, Steve Schlegel." There you go.
I heard he's not clean.
Who, me?
Yeah. That's a dirty Sanchez right there.
I got it right away.
I knew. I'm trying to act like I didn't. I don't care.
Okay, it totally looks like she's taking a shit right there. The way she's sitting. And I don't see any doors in the place. So that could totally be. That could be the refresher.
It could be. Cam McLeish, yes.
To...
Minute. 1 hour 30 and 20. Yes, close enough.
Anakin's trying to talk to her, and she's just grunting. You need to go, Anakin. And light a match on your way out too, will you?
This choice doesn't put me for you.
She just looked at Qui-Gon. She's like, "I'm done if you need it." There's no need to flush. We just kick dirt over it.
They don't even wipe or nothing, man.
They don't actually have a refresher. It just shows her squatting, and it literally is just on the floor. And then some droid runs over and kicks sand over it. It's literally like a public cat box.
That's why he built 3PO. He's just taking care of the litter box.
You've been a great pal. Thanks for covering up all of Mom's dumps.
You've been a great pal. By the way, I think Mom's shit in the corner. You might want to take care of that. I hope
Mom
you
had
don't
a little
get
bit
a
too
red
much
arm
Ronto
one day.
flesh last night. Yeah. Oh my Lord.
Stevie, he says it's not nice that you called him a dirty Sanchez, acting like he's brand new to the people he's talking to.
Right.
Right. Kale. Saw me. Bye, dude. What a dick thing to say as you leave. It really is. Dude, you've been such a great friend. Like, I appreciate everything about you. Hopefully my mom don't sell you as a piece of junk. Out.
Right.
Skywalker out. Peace.
Been a great friend. Deuces.
I got some younglings to go slaughter. See you later, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. In episode 3, Anakin walks into that room and he's just like, I was your age once. I hated myself when I was your age.
Excellent timing, man.
Oh, we missed a
God,
comment
this-
up in the thread a little earlier about preferring the Sam Witwer Darth Maul voice. Which,
Yes.
yeah, I could totally see that. Okay, didn't it totally look like he just like fell off that cliff, like didn't fly over it?
Right. Okay, this
Okay,
is one of the reasons
that's
why.
a definite cut, by the way. You know that was like an extended scene that they cut, right?
Yeah.
That's why they're running,
Right.
because it's weird that like all of a sudden they're running from what? Oh, here comes Darth Maul. Like
Yeah.
there was a scene where like they picked him up first and they were already on the chase, kind of a thing.
Or
They're like, Qui-Gon's in trouble and everybody's just got this confused look on their face. Like, what the hell were you doing in there? They're literally fighting in front of you.
Oh, you know what it was? No, nope. That busybody, that bitch with the, feel in my bones, Annie. She probably put out an Amber Alert, is what happened.
Right.
it's like the
Qui-Gon's like, "Damn
Godfather.
it."
It's seriously like the Godfather, like mafia families selling each other out. Like that old lady was like on Maul's side, and they were on another side. Like it's like the Tatalias and the freaking Corleones.
Qui-Gon's just sitting on the floor there. They're like, are you okay? And he's like, oh, God, we're going to need a protocol droid to clean up the corner here.
I figured he just pulled a Vince McMahon and tore both of his quads jumping into the ship.
Right? Boy, is that a great reference.
I love this robot chair. It's the dumbest thing, and that's what makes it so great.
I know, but it's so Star Wars, man.
I know. Like, how more ostentatious can you get than my chair? It doesn't even have wheels. It just walks.
By the way,
I was just thinking
this is
about
such a
how
great chair. I love my chair.
Yeah.
Let's
I was
go-
just thinking about
let's
how
go down
Darth
the
Maul
hall.
must
I'll
have
have a
bought one of those
conversation.
chairs.
By the way, how incredible is Star Wars that those scenes in the palace were filmed in some enormous frickin' Italian, like actual like monastery type place.
Isn't that how
Like,
great
it's
Italy
all-
is? Not how great Star Wars is?
I love where your head's at. That is one way to look at it.
Oh, don't mind me, Padme, just pooping in the corner.
All right, new
I never
world
noticed
man.
how many
What's up,
people are
man?
sitting in the corner in this movie. Everyone's just
It's-
taking a deuce.
It's it's an intergalactic RTA. New World Man, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. He said the kids and Baby Greedo ruined it for me.
Right? You,
By the way, New
you
World
left
Man.
Again, you left
Yeah,
again,
hold on one
John.
second. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. So, New World Man, if you're trying to catch up with us, I am at 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 50 seconds. So, if you want to catch up on episode
okay.
1.
That's good to know. I'm 5 seconds behind.
Okay.
You had walked away again, John, and AJ was talking about, oh yeah, that's horrible child acting right there. 'Cause baby Greedo was jumping up and down after the pod race and everything. Yeah.
They went to high five, and like one of them went to try, the other one wasn't ready, so the guy's just like,
Now, in this scene, like, how do you possibly get this right? Like, you pick a rookie kid actor, and you have to do this emotional thing. Like, so the people that like shit on it, it's like, what do you want? First of all, the kid's like what, 9 years old when he does this,
Something like that. Yeah.
and he's only been if this wasn't his first. Oh no, he was in was it Jingle All the Way or something? The Arnold Schwarzenegger movie before this. So he's been in one movie. He's a little kid. Now he's thrown into this, and not only is it either his first or second movie, but it's nothing but green screen. So what do you expect the kid to do? Like, I've never understood the hate, you know?
People give these actors crap for, not putting in their best performance, but like green screen technology was not new at the time, but like to this degree with all this, like, oh, we'll just put it all in digitally later. Like no one knew how to handle that yet because it wasn't done.
Yeah,
and even to this point, like they bring out the volume, and what do all the actors say? They're like, it's so much easier to act because we can see our surroundings.
Mhm.
So even 20 years later, people still aren't used to having to imagine what's going to be filled in post.
Yeah, because like you said, everything was green. They didn't see any of this till after it was done. Like now, when they make the new Avengers movies and stuff, they do this stuff on the fly. Like they can digitally make it, put it on screens, and they can see it almost in real time while they are shooting things with monitors and stuff. So, but like in 1999, all these guys are on a soundstage staring at probably a tennis ball dangling in front of a green screen.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing.
Get emotional, cry, get emotional during the scene. It's like, how?
Yeah, and especially being the first time it's ever been done.
Right.
I mean, even the actors themselves are like completely like on a on a path that no one had ever been on before. Like, all right, act with what? Like, there's basically like nothing. Like, what the hell? Like, I mean, like,
here's your scene. Get into character.
Yeah.
I mean, the only one who had a semi-clear idea of what to do would have been Ewan McGregor, because at least he was playing an established character. He had someone to base his performance off of, but everybody else was new.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no wonder that he and Ian McDiarmid are the two strongest performances in this movie, because they're the only ones that have something to base their performance on.
Yep.
That is a naked statue behind that man.
Intergalactic camel toe.
You pick out the weirdest details. Holy crap.
I know, Steve. Like, although in his defense, I noticed it too. I was like,
yeah, it's like it's the only thing other than him and his crazy clown outfit that he has on right now. Like you just see alien junk.
That's okay. I just saw it. Yep. Can't unsee. Thank you, Steve.
And they show it a third
Damn
time.
It.
They obviously.
Good Lord, I was just gonna say
four times.
Damn it!
That thing's got front butt.
They obviously want you to see this thing.
Damn it! God damn you guys!
Is this like the dicks that they hide in Disney movies? Is this just the CG artists seeing what they can slip in with nobody noticing?
Go to the Penis Jedi Council. Sorry.
By the way, Cale McLeish says Ian McDiarmid didn't have anything to base his performance on, and he doesn't need it. Very good point. Yep. Completely on point, man.
Well, he had previously played Palpatine in the original trilogy. That was my point.
Yep. See, and
okay. Here's one of the best changes they made. We were talking about how the up-res did not help when they went to Blu-ray for this thing, but we got digital Yoda instead of that awful frigging puppet.
Yeah,
dude. Do you remember when we saw that Star Wars in concert, AJ? And you were the one that said it to me.
That was the first use, yeah.
And I didn't notice it. I was so into the music and watching. You're like, dude, digital Yoda. I'm like, yeah, it's episode 2 and 3. He's like, no. You were like, no, look, they're playing shit from episode 1. It's digital Yoda. I was like, oh, they fixed it. Yep.
Dude, goddamn Star Wars robot chicken, dude.
I was waiting for you to bring up Yariel Poof. Yariel Poof.
That's why I just started chuckling, watching his head back there behind Qui-Gon, like, oh, go get the pizza.
Go get.
I love how Mace just like can't be bothered. He's like, all right, shit, just bring the kid.
Yeah.
Like, why are we dealing with this dumb crap?
Bring the
Am I wrong, by the way, that
motherfucker
these-
in, I don't
these-
care.
These guards look like something out of Tron. That guard by the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
There was a naked statue there too, Steve. You didn't point
Yep.
that one out.
I was thinking about it though. I was like, yeah, there's another one.
There it is, full frontal.
Boobs.
Damn, them are some long arms, bro. Jesus.
I want to
George
know how
Lucas-
much that thing weighed on top of that poor actress's head. That looks heavy as hell.
Damn it! Now I'm gonna be looking for.
There you go.
nude-
There's statue
nudity.
ass right there.
See? I'm gonna be looking for this every scene. Fuck you guys. George Lucas is obviously writing this movie with one hand.
Right? Yeah. They were putting the CGI into this thing, and he was like, and watch this, I'm gonna put full frontal in a Star Wars movie. Nobody's gonna catch it.
All right. So to anybody who's just tuning in, if you want to watch along with us with the Phantom Menace, we are currently at 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 30 seconds. And that's what we're doing right now.
Does not recognize you.
Yes.
Fly back into the wall, idiot.
Yeah. Listen, E.T., get the F out.
Dude, I get that, like, it's royalty and stuff like this, but at what point do you just look at Padme and go,
This is like WWE. She doesn't even
ridiculous,
start
bro.
talking before someone interrupts the promo.
You know what no one has ever noticed about that? If you slow that scene down where, like literally a couple seconds ago where she's floating forward and the little thing in her hair, if you look at right up there, right about like the gold thing
Mhm.
that's like at the center of her hair, if you pull it back like a couple seconds ago, it literally looks like the Rebellion logo.
Hmm.
See, doesn't it a little bit? You can see
Yeah.
it right there, doesn't it?
Okay.
I know I'm pulling stuff like, but probably out of my ass, but I always kind of thought it looked like that.
I just noticed that Orn Frita is here, so apparently he wasn't just what was his title? Major Domo, I think, for Palpatine.
Yeah. Kale. It's almost as if that's the point. Well, I know Kale, but good Lord. Sometimes you don't notice things, Kale, until you're doing a watch through and trying to look for little things as you're having a discussion.
By the way,
Chancellor
JT, the
with a
worst idea
jerry
you've had all
curl.
night is to slow down any scene with the Senate.
I didn't slow down this scene. Wait, what are you talking? Oh, all right. I was like, wait, is my internet lagging? Look how good this looks, man. And did you notice like the little the light what's that called, AJ?
Bloom,
Like the
I
little
think.
light blur. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
it's
talking
called
about?
bloom.
Like the sun. Okay. God damn it, there's the Yario poof again. Steve.
Stupid head. Just there must be a breeze in that room.
Yeah. Is that like an alien palsy or something? Like that server who served us pizza at Little Caesars when we were kids?
Oh, I don't remember that, and I'm not even going to try to remember that. What the hell's wrong with you? It was funny when Steve said there's a breeze.
I didn't know there was anything going on there. I thought she was just like constantly agreeing with our order as she took it. I didn't know. I didn't
I don't know.
know.
I don't know if you know this or not, but like what I said a minute ago was basically like, I don't know, like your cue to shut up.
Doesn't matter.
It does. It's like a major league. No one's listening anyway.
Exactly.
You can't say shit. Yeah.
You can't say goddamn on the air.
God, yeah.
Oh. God, this is so good, man. I get it that like the versions we're watching are like, updated from, the 99 version, but even the 99 version, like if you go back and watch the DVD, it still looks great. And AJ to your point, again, the DVD version is almost better because you don't have that precision perfection in the graphics. So the live action stuff blends in so much better with the CG.
Mm-hmm.
As Palpatine walks into the room, I just I imagine as he walks, they should have edited little bells, like little, just that goofy ass outfit that he has. I feel like he should have little bells on his shoes. This will strike fear into everybody. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And I agree with AJ from earlier. Like every 5 minutes, there is a whole new outfit and crazy ass hairdo on Padme.
They're able to do hair fast in the future, man.
Apparently so.
Even though it was a long time ago.
Right, yeah.
God, how boring must it be to be one of those handmaidens? You just stand back there. You don't even look or turn your head or nothing.
Again, it goes back to Tron. Those are those mindless faces in the control room.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I'll bring
spoiler,
sanity
he's not
and
going
compassion
to.
back. Yeah. Oh, I got this. See, you know what though? Let's give credit where credit is due. When she's like, I pray you bring sanity whatever back. It they could have had focus on his face and do this little smile where you're like, oh shit, what's that about? They didn't do that at all. So they at least tried to keep the illusion,
Yeah. Shut up,
I think
Yoda.
that's Yoda's way of saying he just crop dusted.
Anakin's clearly got 30,000 midichlorians. You only got 17.5. What are you talking about, old man?
Yoda was doing the smell the fart acting from Friends.
Apparently the breeze is not in the. They turned the fan off. Oh no! No, there it goes again.
Yep.
They turned the fan. His head is like an oscillating fan in the corner of the room.
Well, I think he's just sick of having the crappy vantage point. He's like, I can't see. Man, would you move? Damn it.
God damn it! Every time I try to look at who's talking, someone stands in front of me. What the fuck? What did he say? What about dark idea? Dark what? Idea? Huh? Oh my God! Plo Koon. What did he say? What did he just say?
Maybe you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, screw that little kid.
Well, if his metachlorian count's so high, I bet he'll survive me yeeting him off of this thing.
I was just going to say.
Save yourself, kid.
Okay, that is one of the best lines. I love that line. It's one of my personal mantras. Actually, your focus determines your reality. I love it.
Totally agree.
How often do we talk about, like, you can choose to, like, hate on something because that's the easy thing to do, is just bitch about everything and you'll never run out of stuff to talk about. Or you could choose to look at, like, this movie that is goofy as hell and laugh your ass off and have a good time with it instead of pointing out all the flaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and you
We're
make
all
a good
wrestling
point,
fans.
AJ.
Obviously, we love suspending disbelief for a goofy good time.
Yeah, but I mean, AJ, but you're not wrong. Like, that is a great line. I mean, that is a really great line. Your focus, determines your reality. Like, it's a lot of intelligence in the middle of some pretty goofy, just fun stuff. Like,
those are those little nuggets that are really undervalued, because a lot of kids probably wouldn't think about it that hard and get it. They would just understand, okay, it's an adult talking to the kid that I identify with. But then as you go back and rewatch it, as you get older, more and more stuff like makes sense. It gives you more to chew on,
yeah.
And there was another new hairdo on the way to the ship.
Oh, well, you got your stepping out hair, you got your staying in at sunset hair, you've got your abducted by
Stepping
robots hair.
Yeah.
All right. So for anybody watching live, we are currently, at least on my watch, we are doing a live watch along with the Phantom Menace, and we are at 1 hour 37 minutes and 13 seconds. So if you want to pull up the movie and watch along with us and get the commentary, that's where you're at. Our buddy Kale McLeish says, question: everyone always shits on Anakin not picking up Palpatine as the Sith Lord during the Opera House scene, but Palpatine seems like the evil guy in these scenes as well. So why do we not question all these politicians not picking up on this here either? All right, number one, I think a lot of people have asked about the Anakin not picking up on the Sith Lord thing. Palpatine is so strong that he covers his Force abilities, and I hate to bring up like Legends stuff because it's not canon, but I mean, AJ, you'll back me up. Like, Palpatine actually, he can cover up, he covers things up. So there's an explanation there, and I think that would carry over into the live action stuff, the canon stuff.
Yeah, and as far as like the politicians and whatnot, they're not even aware that the Sith were ever a thing, so they wouldn't be looking for one. And the Jedi, like, it was presented as a possibility, and the Council's like, dude, we wiped them out 1,000 years ago, so stop with that nonsense. So the Jedi didn't want to believe it, and nobody else knew that they even existed. So
Yep.
But yeah, this is where I really wish Darth Plagueis was a canon book, because the way they tie it all together, and he goes and makes political alliances that are deliberately at odds with other parties to like pit them against each other and just kind of like foment all the chaos that he's supposed to be wiping out. It's brilliant because they're so busy fighting amongst each other that they don't ever notice that he's the one behind the scenes making it all happen. It's like, come on, pull your Stephen King here, JT. Needful Things. What's the character's name?
Oh, Leland Gaunt?
Yeah. Yeah, he's pulling a Leland Gaunt where he's pitting everyone against each other, so they're too busy looking elsewhere to see that he's the mastermind behind it all. I do love this idea. Like, we think of the Gungans as just this like goofy ass like fish people, but Jar Jar does say like, "Hey, we got a grand army," and I think that's why you don't like us, because basically, no one fucks with the Naboo, or no one fucks with the Gungans specifically. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the plot of the whole thing actually really sets up pretty cool. I mean, graphically they could have done it better, I would say, but it's a pretty interesting thing to have this like fake queen and stuff like that, and I think the whole plot ties together pretty. I think it ties together pretty well.
See, the thing I want to know is they're on these ruins, right? The statues don't look like Gungans. So who are these people? Like, are these Naboo ruins?
I've never looked at it that way. That's a good question. I love this reveal. I've always loved this reveal.
You want to know how I found out about it?
How?
They put out with the action figures when the movie came out, like ahead of time. They had these sound chip bases that you could like plug onto a device and it would like read lines from the movie. This is one of the friggin' lines for the figure. So before the movie even came out, it was spoiled on a toy.
Are you serious?
Serious. I was living in
All right.
Columbus. My buddies were collecting all the figures. They plugged it in. They're like, what's this bodyguard decoy nonsense? And of course, there it is in the movie.
You got okay. You have to
I was
find
like,
that.
oh, come on!
There it is. Cam McLeish, those are Easter egg. These are Easter Island heads artwork. Nothing more.
I still don't get this whole twitch of his.
Well, I think this is one of those scenes that are I mean, Boss Nass himself is a little over the top, and it's like he's one of the overly kiddie parts of the movie, and I think that is a perfect example of that. Is like oh, now we're friends, like All right, so I do have to say,
Sure,
whenever I see, you did not. God damn you, AJ. For anybody watching the video, I hope you've seen Blazing Saddles, because AJ just got off like one of the best 2.5 bombs in the history of recorded video. Damn you, AJ. I had an awesome point I just wanted to bring up, and God damn it, AJ.
R2, can you save our asses again?
Right?
Yeah.
It's been 45 minutes, you lazy droid. Go do something.
Oh, so they're basically storming Wily's castle here.
A Mega Man reference. Nice. This is why we're changing our format to nerd shit.
If
In
Cut
general,
gets in our
nerd
way,
shit.
we're really screwed.
Yeah. Watch out for Woodman.
Boss Nash is kind of a crappy leader. The Jedi's like, yeah, a lot of Gungans are going to get killed here. And he's like, yeah, we're good with that.
Yeah.
Like,
Ote.
like,
Oda
maybe you
Gunga.
come up with a plan.
Ote Gunga.
God damn, really?
Well, look, you pulled the Blazing Saddles line. I can do
Can I-
that.
Can I quote the South Park movie, or is that a little too non-PC at this point?
I think
You
we've
know
crossed
the
that
battle
line
strategy
years
I
ago.
want to name on this one, right?
Yes, I do. I don't think you should.
I'm not going to. I've already done enough tonight, I think.
Wave 1, raise your hands. What the hell?
Okay, this scene, for being all digital, I love this so much.
Oh, dude, yes.
Coming through the fog like that.
Cam McLeish, we're way beyond this. Quote it.
I just love how the one guy is duct taped.
We'll just
to
paraphrase it as
to the
Operation
side of
Hide
the
Behind
tank.
the Gungans.
Yes, yes, that's what this says. Operation Hide Behind the Gungans.
There's just Gungans duct taped to the tanks behind him.
By the way, Captain Tarples is a fucking legend. That dude
Yes.
almost took down Grievous single-handedly in the Clone Wars.
Hey, Steve.
Yes, sir.
That means we have to get through that far into the Clone Wars. Oh, this looks so good.
I didn't realize this was all digital. I thought this was like actual physical plates with CG droids and stuff, but apparently even the grass is fake.
Yep. Dude, even for 1999, like, it just looks like you can tell that this scene right here is obviously a physical set and stuff like that. But I don't think it's I don't think it takes away from the battle scene previously or it's, the one that's coming. There's less going on in there, but considering it's in a giant field, like on open land, like it still looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how these guys snuck that like little convertible like tank in here with nobody noticing it.
This is too close.
Am I wrong, or does that look like when you go to the airport and you're trying to look up your flight? That looked like the,
Dude, yes.
This is too close. Oh, we got to board at 3:40 p.m.
Oh shit! They're boarding already. They're on final boarding call already.
I wanted to go to Chili's too.
We stayed at Sammy's Beach Bar too long. All right, so all kidding aside, we are now getting into the part of the movie. Like, I love the whole movie, but from here on out, it's pretty much like action.
Oh, there's the Wilhelm.
Yeah.
That's right. So AJ,
This button looks like it does something.
So AJ, should we tell our Wilhelm scream story real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Right quick. Yeah, right quick before. Man, I got something in my eye. So the very first celebration AJ and I went to, we ended up eating lunch with Ben Burt, obviously the father of Star Wars sound, and it was literally halfway through the very first day, and we had eaten lunch. I went to hold on, Kale's got something to say. Our buddy Kale McLeish says, I'm fine watching an arc of the Clone Wars every couple of weeks with you guys after episode 2. Cherry pick a few episodes at a time. All right.
That's good.
We'll do
Friday
that,
night
Kale.
Twitch material. Yeah.
Yep. I like it. But yeah, so our very first celebration, we were literally halfway through the first day. It was Thursday. It was like lunch. We went to eat. By the way, another example of phenomenal digital photography.
Also, what a great design,
CJ,
right?
Yes, completely agree. It also reminds me of how they would, at this time, this was when the internet was kind of like newer, and they would do these like, remember they would like, and these are all on the DVD releases, AJ, when they would do, I don't know, Steve, you saw this, but they would do like these little like 3-minute long things they would release on the internet, and one of them was like how they did the release of the battle droids right here.
Right.
But there was like 10 per movie or so. It was crazy how they did this. But they released it online. All right, so back to the original story, so we can get back to the movie. AJ and I are at our first celebration, and we're eating lunch. I go to throw out my garbage, and I bump into this gentleman. I was like, "Oh, sorry!" And I look at him like, "Oh crap! Hey, what's up, Ben Burt?" He's like, "Hey." I literally bumped into Ben Burt, and he was like, "Hey, sorry, it's so good." He's like, "Do you have a spot at your table?" And I went, "Yeah, we're sitting over here." And he's like, "All right, well, it was so packed, and I didn't think we had a spot at our table." And when we walked over, I was like, "Thankfully," well, I was. Oh, believe me, I was going to exactly, but someone had just gotten up, and I was like, "Yeah, sit right here." So we sat there, and literally, like, we had heard about Celebration, how there's like, celebrities are walking around everywhere and all this crazy stuff's going on. Like, and literally less than 4 hours into our first celebration, we had Ben Burt eating lunch with us. And now, enough with stories. Let's get back to the movie because this kicks ass.
Because it's the best scene in the movie.
It's pretty much one of the best scenes anytime.
Who picks up their robes? Like I'm all for a good lightsaber fight, but if I got to lose a jacket every time I do.
There's probably more protocol droids. Not only do they clean up shit, they clean up Jedi robes.
And you hope they're not the same ones.
Right.
Cale McLeish nails it. He says, "Maul time." God, yeah, this literally like this just is action, 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 action all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And I know like every Star Wars movie pretty much ends in this fashion. Like it's just like a quick, final half hour. But something about this one was just always so original to me. Something about like the space battle combined with like, the lightsaber battle, like it does
I didn't
mirror.
see Qui-Gon eat shit in that last frame until this last time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like AJ, and I'll ask this question of you. This does mirror Return of the Jedi, because obviously there's a lightsaber battle juxtaposed against the space battle.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could say, okay, this has been done before, yada yada. This one just feels so much different. They're both emotionally really heavy, but this one just feels for some reason so different. Like Return of the Jedi is your favorite movie. Like, why do you agree with me that it feels a little different in this movie than in Return of the Jedi?
It does. I mean, Maul looks like a much bigger threat because with Vader and Luke, like neither of them is actually trying to kill the other one. It's a reluctant fight where no one's trying to really do any harm. Whereas this is like, oh crap, like Maul looks like nothing but danger.
Yeah.
And so like, especially with a two-bladed lightsaber, oh my God. Like, yeah, I'd be calling for a protocol droid in the corner too. Like,
right. And you know what? I never noticed this. Like now that I brought that up, like that's an excellent point, AJ, because it's like enemy versus enemy in this one, whereas in Jedi it's like father versus son. But there is that juxtaposition as well. The Gungans versus the droids. It's again like the Ewoks versus the Empire.
mm-hmm.
It's like a natural enemy versus a created kind of digital army.
See, and this is why we can't have autonomous driving.
Now, wait a minute. You're a big fan of autonomous driving.
He's like, damn it, GM Super Cruise, stop it.
No matter how many times I watch this movie, I still think he says this is tits. I cannot hear it any other way. I know it's not what he says, but it forever sounds like that, and that is forever the line in my head for now on. That's my head canon of episode 1.
God. I'm beating a dead horse, but man, this looks so good.
The layout. I don't know the layout of the palace, but I just noticed they shoot out the windows across the hallway when they're standing right in front of some windows.
We gotta go this far.
Right. Yes. Okay. And they just got up to when they got to the top, what do you see? Window, hallway, window. They could have gone up the other side.
See, what they should do is they're running in right now and just freezing.
Decency to put clothes on, though.
There's no marbleized camel toe.
Man,
yeah.
Forget the whole like Star Wars fall. that stunt person had a very bad time.
Yes.
You could tell that was that's like a Baker Mayfield shoulder.
Boy, is that joke not going to age well.
Right. Sorry. Yeah.
All right, so our buddy Kel McLeish says, Maul is here for no other reason than to kill them pesky Jedi. Vader and Luke are having a conversation, but with real aggressive gesturing with lightsabers in front of evil granddaddy. Well said, Kale.
See, the other way you know that this scene is just perfect is that there is so much stuff that makes no sense whatsoever, and you just don't notice or care.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how useless this hallway is.
Right, like what's with this intermittent sequential shielding?
My answer would be Star Wars.
Because it's cool. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Like how fast do spaceships travel in Star Wars? At the speed of the plot.
Yeah. That's a great way to phrase it, man. Cam McLeish. Use force speed, Jedi dumbass.
That's a good point. They dashed right at the beginning.
Yep. Dude, Kale notices everything, man.
The speed of the plot, and it just makes me think about those stupid fucking resistance bombers.
Steve, we're still like 9 movies away from that.
I know. I hate them so much. They're the worst damn things in Star Wars. Oh my god.
Oh no. There's worse things.
No, they're not
vehicle
wise. Not vehicle wise. Worse.
Yes, there are.
In Star Wars.
No. Space whales were used as vehicles, so therefore there is worse.
Okay. But that's a living being, okay? Like I can't.
Steve, we have to finish watching the movie. You don't want to get me started.
You brought up the space whales. I was talking about shitty resistance bombers, okay?
Droidicas are still one of the coolest designs.
Oh yeah.
Credit to Lego for trying to make a set that actually folded up like that.
Right.
The one thing that kind of sort of sucks about going digital with some of these things is like, even here you can tell like R2 doesn't actually fit in that slot. Like where the hell did his legs go? And the episode 3 Jedi Starfighters, there is no room for the bottom half of an R2 unit in that design. But it didn't matter because it was CG.
It looks to me like there's room for him.
Yeah.
No, I think his legs would they'd have to it looks like they accommodated the body, but there's no.
Oh,
no
you're
room
talking
for the
about
legs.
around. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean he's a giant cylinder, so obviously that part goes up just fine. But the legs, looks like there's no room for the legs there.
I assume since they come up from the bottom, I assume there's just 2 little grooves for his legs to fit into.
See, right there. You're right. Force dash. Where's the damn force dash? This one's on you, Obi-Wan.
Way to go, man. Got your boss killed, you dick.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's one way to get a promotion, but damn.
See, okay. AJ, you and I have talked about this so many times offline. Like, everyone talks about how underused Maul is as a character. And you and I have always said, like, Qui-Gon as a character, like, equally underused.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you stand on that, Steve?
No, it's severely underused.
I mean, like, you have all these like Jedi always trying to be perfect, and then you've got Qui-Gon being like, giving the finger to him. Like, I really think that he just like his angle was such a different way to go, and they have not exploited it, at least in live action.
No,
Mhm.
yeah.
I feel like Liam Neeson still got like one live action appearance left in him if they want to use some digital de-aging. They can totally get that done.
By the way, like going back to the actual movie we're watching, I love the whole like subterfuge angle of this. I thought that was just a really cool thing to put in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was awesome. We'll discuss another treaty.
See, I mean, God, Maul is so cool in this movie. The way he just like stalks him, he's so cocky. I love it. Like for him, this is fun. Obi-Wan's pissed off after being terrified. Maul's just having the time of his life.
Yeah. Maul's just playing with his food.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, that's the best way to phrase it, man. God, this is so good. Like, how could you crap on episode 1 having this? Like, the last half hour of the movie, like, there's nothing to complain about. Oh, it's so good.
I do not understand how George Lucas created a character this cool and it was like, yeah, we're killing him. Like, how did you not know that this was like the best thing coming out of this movie?
I think he thought there was cooler shit coming afterwards. That's the only thing I can think about. I mean, because it's Boba Fett syndrome.
No slight on Christopher Lee, but I'm sorry, Dooku does not hold a candle to Maul.
Well, yeah, but I mean, again, don't forget, like, again, Boba Fett syndrome. Like, he did the same thing with Boba. Like, oh, we're just going to put him there for like a second, you know? Mm-hmm. Even after he had been in a parade and in a cartoon and kids were obviously like, oh my God, this character's great. He put him in there for like, you know, like 90 seconds in Empire.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that's one of my favorite characters ever. That guy, it's like, we didn't hit it. Like, that guy just seems like the incompetent dick that got nothing accomplished and just got lucky to survive. He's just flying around.
Was that Rick O'Lee?
I've always wondered that myself. Kale McLeish, I'm going to call on you like I do in my Dream Theater show. Kale, look up if that dummy that goes, we didn't hit it, if that was Rick O'Lee.
That's a weird thing. That seems like a pretty big design flaw that when you power the thing down, its head falls off. Can you imagine if every time you turned off your computers, just the lid was like, you know? God, this does get me so pumped for the Kenobi show, though.
Right.
Hitting the hard stuff now, guys. Got my sparkling water.
All right, do your thing.
Ow. Just ow. I mean, I'll believe that he could have survived that fall, just like the straight fall, but the fact that his like head just like ping-ponged off the chasm on the way down.
Right.
That's what they should have done in the Blu-ray. Just like when no one could ever notice it, just have him like fall down, but then just digitally edit this. He hits it off that one little thing, goes, like,
right?
grabs his head. Cam McLeish says yes. It's Rick O'Lee. Man, KO to the rescue, dude.
I just think it's amazing how half of Darth Maul fell down that hole and perfectly landed on one of those chairs that the guy had earlier in the movie with the spider legs on it.
That's where the spider legs came from.
He goes, ooh, this was convenient.
And the worst part about all of that is they bring him back in a stupid fashion, and then they have what, an 11-second Star Wars Rebels thing where Obi-Wan just kills him and then holds him
Steve?
while his life goes from
Steve, don't give away a future watch along where you and I just absolutely eviscerate an episode of Rebels.
Oh God, it's so bad. It's as bad as
Oh.
the Resistance bombers.
Oh, if we're doing Rebels watch along, we got to get the Purgle in there. We're gonna make you watch the Purgle episode, JT.
We need to tease that one for a year. Hey, look, there's Ben Burt in the background. Ben Burt in the background.
Yep.
There's Ben Burt right between them. And there's Rick McCallum to the right. Cam McLeish
It's a
says,
weird scene. I'm still trying to figure out what this one's all about.
I liked Maul's death. Well, hey, Kale, no offense, but go fuck yourself. It sucked, Kale. It was crap. It will forever be crap. And don't get us started. We're trying to watch the end of episode 1, Kale.
Yeah, no, I like my headcanon better where Maul stays as the Sith apprentice and then Vader has to go after him and kill him because he wants the spot.
Well.
So explain to me what's going on in this scene because it sounds like the decision's already been made that Anakin's going to be trained, but Yoda's still like trying to talk Obi-Wan out of it. So if Obi-Wan had listened to Yoda, would Yoda have basically just shat on the council's decision?
Well, I mean, Yoda was the head of the council, so maybe he was trying to.
By the way, it's got to smell so bad. All that hair burning and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, what'll happen to you now? I'll give you nose plugs because I know the long-term effects of like the burn, like the Jedi thing. Yeah.
What will happen to me now? Well, we do need someone to clean up the shit in the corner.
Do you have robot legs?
Okay, again, how is this not so much foreshadowing? So you guys know the fun little anecdote about this music, right? Getting into a little,
I do,
little bit
but
of
say it
music
for
theory.
the show because this is a great, yeah.
Okay, so if you listen to the music, there's two types of keys in music. There's major and minor keys. Major is like celebrational, upbeat, happy, like this music.
I really hope that. I really hope that's not what. I hope that's not one of your 2 points because
no.
That was okay.
So what this is actually Palpatine's theme from Return of the Jedi, just done in a different key in a major chord instead of a minor chord.
Wait, this thing is we're listening to right now?
Yeah, if you listen to the voices, they go ah ah instead of oh.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Well,
So
no,
what was
because
your story?
it's so no. I didn't have a story. It was so it's so much of a higher register. Wow.
Yeah, that's Palpatine's theme, just changed up.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. Thank you,
Wow.
David W. Collins, for that one.
No kidding. Well, there we go. So
I mean, the
That
genius
was
of John Williams
way
strikes
better
again.
than the last time we tried this.
look at Kale. How did you not know that, Kale? Because first of all, it's about like 4 octaves higher, so it's a little harder for me to like process the note and stuff. Normally I can get that stuff. Like there's in Solo, it's like join the Empire, and it's the Imperial March in major key. Like I get that, but that one I did not know.
I didn't either. And I'll chalk it up to the fact that I just didn't care. I never thought that far into it to think that was
right
music.
Look at Kale. You're the musician here, though. Kale, how many times have I told you I'm a singer? I'm a musician, but I don't know music notes and stuff like that. I'm a singer, dude. I'm a front man. So, no, I didn't know that. Kale. Who can't get Dream Theater tours down there in Australia? There you go. That's a little crossover comment. Didn't mean to bust your balls there, Kale. But anyway, no, I did not know that. Awesome tidbit, AJ.
By the way, for those just tuning in, the timestamp is 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 25 seconds. We're looking at who the animation director is.
I did learn that one tonight. So this is our first watch along that we actually got through. As Steve so astutely pointed out, we made it past 5 minutes.
Yes.
So I think in the future, I will definitely have to, like I said, like make sure that I'm telling people, like as I see people coming in and out, like, hey, here's where we're at, so that people can jump in. But I thought that was a fucking blast.
Oh shit! Jabba the Hutt was himself. I didn't even know that. Yeah, I like how they had to put that in the credits.
Well,
By the way, credit to Sam Jackson. He was like 2/3 of the way down the credited actors. You would have thought he would have been like top billing.
Yeah.
But no, he like Rune Hako appeared before he did. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, that was the thing. It was look, like I'll do this, but only if I get a purple lightsaber. And George Lucas countered with, okay, but I'm going to bill you under more worthless characters. Okay,
Which
I like where
your
your head's at, George.
lightsaber? The one that says "bad motherfucker" on it.
Right. Well, no, seriously, guys. So this was a blast, man. Like, we definitely got to do this again. We got to promote it well in advance because I have to admit, like, even though actually I was about to say, like, even though I broke the seal twice, what the hell are you guys drinking or not drinking that you just like? It's been like almost 3 hours.
Dude, I plowed through two 24-ounce waters, and I'm starting to feel it now.
I plowed through 1 beer, 1 can of Coke Zero, and I'm halfway through a sparkling water. So,
Well, apparently iced tea is the magic elixir to make you completely be the ass of the show. So there you go.
You are the oldest. Have you had a prostate exam recently?
On the next episode of the Nerf Herder Council.
That's awesome. Oh, man.
It actually reminds me of an episode of Robot Chicken where Optimus Prime ends up dying of colon cancer.
I haven't seen that one. That's our next
turns
watch
all
along.
gray like in the movies. Yeah, it's great.
All right, so our buddy Kale says, looking forward to Clones. Yeah, we're definitely doing that. And Kale, we're going to announce it way in advance. I think you guys are familiar with Kale, I think, because he's been on a bit before. But just so we're clear, Kale is in Australia. He's 12 hours ahead of us. So at this point, for us, it is 10:44 in the evening. It's 10:44 in the morning for him. So, Kale, our watch-alongs are going to be on Fridays. If not Saturdays, so it's on weekends for anybody who can do that. So, and we're gonna definitely promote those well in advance. That's one of the things about the format changes that we're gonna pick episode topics way in advance. Watch along stuff like this. We're gonna try and get our Twitch page involved.
Honestly, I was already trying to ask. I already asked Sean today, like. I'm like, can you tell your schedule that far in advance to try to figure out a Friday to watch Clones with us? And he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, every other Friday I leave at 6. I'm like, all right. Well, I'm like, you tell me the Friday, I'll run it by these guys and we'll make it happen. So we got at least 2 Fridays in January that we can pull this off. So,
Well, There we go.
We still got to get that Visions watch along going too. We'll have to book that for sometime in January, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, I thought this was fun as hell. I have to admit, I was like, how the hell are we going to get through a 2.25 hour movie and make it interesting and whatnot? But I had a blast, man.
Oh yeah. I knew
excellent
we
idea,
Steve.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, this was your call. Excellent idea. I thought it was great. It was really fun watching the movie with you guys, and I definitely think we can definitely do this doing forward. Going forward.
Now, I think we've already agreed what our first episode back is going to be, though, right? Given that we will be coming back right after at least the first episode, maybe the second as well, drops of the Book of Boba Fett.
Yes.
Yeah. So we won't be exclusively Star Wars starting in the new year, but we are definitely going to start with Star Wars in the new year.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. And if you guys have an episode idea, just hit us up at nerfherdercouncil@gmail.com. We can talk nerd stuff, and if you guys want to hear us talk about something, that's great. If you want to be a part of the show, let us know. More than happy to have guest hosts on. Again, my buddy Cale McLeish, she's been on my Dream Theater show, and obviously he knows his Star Wars. So if Cale, you want to jump on here too, you're more than welcome.
Can we really trust that guy though? Everything he does is backwards. Like, it's nighttime for us, it's daytime for him. His toilet's flushed the other way. It's summer right now. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, but
get it together, Cale.
All you have to do is ask him to do the Crocodile Dundee line, and that's not a knife. This is a knife. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's impressive. So all kidding aside, man, guys, this was great. It was awesome hanging out with you guys. AJ
it actually is true, Cale. Here, so he doesn't know if I know you're trying to do the wrap up, but he didn't know if the toilet thing is true. It actually does. It flushes. Ours flush clockwise. Yours flushes counterclockwise because of the magnetic poles. You're on the opposite side of the planet. So, yeah.
And Cale, of course, I'm not doing the stupid knife line again. Cale, that is your thing. If you want to guest host on my shows, you're going to have to do it. And in my defense, I've never asked you. Brian is the one that asked you to do the knife line. I will only make you do it one time if you jump on the Nerf Herder Council, just so I can show my brother and Steve how funny it is. I will never ask you
the knife line. I'll just keep doing a bad Aussie accent until you get so offended you correct me.
No. Cale's a super sweet guy. He's incredibly knowledgeable, so I got to thank him a ton for hanging out on the Dream Theater show, for hanging out on our show. Actually, my Dream Theater show is how he discovered the Nerf Herder Council, and he hangs out and watches both of my shows. So that's awesome, Cale. Appreciate you so much. I know AJ and Steve, you guys can jump in on that. Like, obviously, it's awesome to have somebody halfway across the planet watching us. So
I don't know you, so I appreciate you less.
So
you don't impress
me. All right. So thank you guys very much, man. AJ and Steve, that was a blast. Like as I was saying, that went way better than I thought it would go. So I think we are definitely on the right path. So thank you guys so much, man. Steve, excellent idea for the watch-alongs. Let's do that again soon. We will definitely announce those well in advance so people can jump in with us.
Mm-hmm.
And the Friday thing going forward, I think we're aiming for one a month, but nobody's ever going to say no to extras if we have time. So, if it ends up happening twice one month and one the next month, like, it's just going to be a thing. So,
yeah. We'll figure it out, man. So
some things will be announced way ahead of time. Some things we might just announce 2 or 3 days ahead of time because we're like, screw it, we'll do something this Friday. So we'll see.
Right.
We'll see how it goes.
Well played, man.
That's
thank you guys.
Tentatively titled, AJ put it in the text thread, WTF Friday. So I mean, if we
or we'll have
with
ABC Fridays or BAC Fridays, excuse me. There you go. So, but yeah, no, guys, thank you so much, man. Like, that was a fucking blast. Thank you to all of you for tuning in to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. Hopefully you guys had a great time. I know this was an exceptionally long episode, but hopefully any of you guys that watched the video replay have a blast with what we were talking about while we were, going through the movie. It's one of my favorites. I know that, Steve is not the biggest prequel fan. AJ is kind of, he's on the fence there, but I think we all have a certain love for this movie, and I thought it was really fun. It was really fun. So
we're getting through the bad ones first, so we can get to the good one. So.
All right, we'll get to that later.
On. You know damn well episode 3 is the best one. So
again, fodder for another episode, Steve.
Yes. We're building.
Yes. So anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. We appreciate you guys. Again, as we said at the beginning of the show, moving forward into the new year, we are going to be an all-nerd podcast. We're just going to talk about whatever the hell we feel like talking about. It's going to be mostly nerd stuff. Almost always Star Wars if there's something to talk about. But if we have something else we want to talk about, we might go there too. So we're going to expand the show. Hopefully you guys keep tuning in. Hopefully you guys are having a blast with us. Again, if you would like to check out video replays of the show, just go to our YouTube page. If you're looking for the audio version of the podcast, just Google Nerf Herder Council Podcast. We are pretty much everywhere you want to find your audio podcasts. Don't forget, we are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. And go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com for your personalized Nerf Herder Council swag. We've got, what is it, AJ, 4 different logos?
Yeah.
So we got four different Star Wars themed logos for you to choose from. AJ's rocking one right now. It's a beautiful red shirt. You can pick any color, any design, whatever you want. Tons of different clothing options. So go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com to get some customized NHC gear. And again, guys, thank you very much. We will see you. It's going to be a bit, but we're going to put it on our social media. It'll probably be early to mid-January when we will be back, and the show is going to be bigger and better than ever. So thank you guys so much for 6 years of supporting us. Thank you for giving us a few weeks off, man. We'd love you guys for tuning in. So until next time, when the show's bigger and better than ever, I am your host, JT, at Dog Pound Jedi. He is AJ.
At Drake Adams 579.
He is Steve.
At Nerf Herder Steve.
And we will catch you in the new year. Love you guys. Have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. And we will see you next time.